Sing the jingle to us so we know the lead in.
We're not going to have it. No.
Can't we have a jingle?
We do have a jingle, but it doesn't play.
Have you not re-listened to ourselves yet, Simon?
I can't. I can't listen to myself.
Yeah, he hasn't listened to the podcast.
I have.
The
first 30 minutes or so, we don't even talk about the film.
Yeah, no, it's great. It's funny. Anyway, welcome to That Was a Movie. I'm your host, Mac, and I'm joined by my co-host, Simon and Pat. In this episode, we'll be delving into what we think of Shang-Chi 10 Rings. But before that, anything else we've been watching?
No. Oh, yeah, obviously, film-wise, I have seen James Bond, Carnage.
You didn't like James Bond, did you?
Oh, I didn't like Carnage either.
Haven't watched that yet.
And Snowpiercer, the movie, on the recommendation of Simon. I watched the movie and now watching the series.
How far are you in the series?
Up to episode 7, the second series. Yeah, because they're only about 48 minutes because they're an hour with adverts, but obviously there's no adverts on Netflix.
See, I enjoyed the series more than the movie. I liked the movie; it was all right. It seemed, I don't think there's any spoilers because, it was out 2008 or something like that. So anybody who hasn't watched it yet.
I can't remember the movie. I think I watched it 2 years ago.
Well, it was just so pointless. It's so these are the only people left on the planet Earth.
Well, was it?
And then, they, right at the end, Captain America basically dooms the entire human race. Yeah.
I was wondering if it was the one with Captain America in. Who was the main protagonist in the TV series then? Who played
the Captain America character?
Yeah, the Captain America.
There isn't really there's an equivalent kind of character, but he's not the same. Leighton is this detective. I don't know if what's his name? Is it Chris Evans?
Yeah, that's it, Chris Evans.
Yeah. Chris Evans. I don't know if he plays a detective in it, but he's kind of the main hero, and he's just set to destroy this whole. I think it comes from a French comic or graphic novel.
Okay.
Originally, but the whole thing is kind of a comment on the kind of caste system.
Snowpiercer was originally a Korean.
Was it Korean?
I
thought it was French.
Oh. Korean.
I enjoyed.
Oh no! Yeah, it's French novel. Why does it say Korean there then?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I enjoyed the film, but like Simon says, it was brilliant up until the point where Captain America kills the entire human race, and you're left with at the end of the film an old woman and a young boy, and I'm sorry, I'm not suspending any disbelief in believing that those two people are going to repopulate the earth because that's just wrong.
There was a lot of things that were wrong about that. I tell you what, have you seen not the remake but the original? What's it called? There's a scene in Snowpiercer, right, where they're fighting their way along the corridor in the train, right, and that's directly ripped from Old Boy. That was it. Old Boy is this. I can't remember. I think it might be a Korean movie. And the premise of that is that there's this guy who's locked up. He has no idea why he's locked up, and he teaches himself kung fu while he's there. And then just to get revenge on the people that have locked up. And he spends 13 years or something like that. And there's a bit of a twist at the end, but I don't want to give it away because if you haven't watched it, you should watch it. Oh, you have seen it then?
Shall I add it to my list?
I don't know if you'd like it, Mac, to be honest.
Well, it's a very good story.
It does have the rating R on here.
It is a very good. There's a bit in it where the guy eats a live octopus, and in the movie it's it's not just like movie magic. He actually eats a live octopus.
Okay, that's the point where I'm going to leave that. There's no way I'd watch that.
No, it gets worse.
I imagine
it does get
does,
worse.
yeah.
It does get worse.
But the poor octopus.
But the story of it is amazing. The choreography of it is amazing.
It is. Have you seen the American remake, the one with Josh Brolin in it? I didn't get past the bit where he got out of the suitcase. It annoyed me so much because I really enjoyed the original, and there's this kind of tradition in American cinema where they just take like an amazing foreign movie and they remake it and make it awful.
Make it shizer.
So I don't know if that's any good or
the remake
if it has the same.
The remake
scenes.
was all right. It wasn't terrible. It was all right.
Is that the 2013 one?
Yeah, but then again, that's a bit like True Grit. The remake of True Grit I thought was brilliant, but the original is brilliant.
Yeah, that's true.
Sometimes they do it right. Sometimes.
Yeah, but then True Grit, the original, was an American movie.
Is it the one with Josh Brolin?
Brogan.
Yeah.
Oh.
Thanos.
Yeah, Thanos.
Thanos. The Balchinian.
Yeah, and I haven't really. I mean, I also watched the new James Bond movie, and I really liked it. It didn't feel like a James Bond movie though, because
that was the problem, wasn't it?
The things that happen to James Bond in that movie don't happen to James Bond. That's.
I think they were trying to separate themselves and say, look, something new.
But the baddies were a bit lackluster, weren't they? They were not.
I wasn't very impressed with the guy who played Mr. Robot. I wasn't impressed with him.
Really?
No.
Rami Malek.
Yeah. I didn't... He just seemed to be playing the usual, I'm insane, I have this problem. Okie dokie. He didn't see... To me, I'd say there wasn't a lot of emotion in him.
Yeah.
He was a psychopath.
He was a psychopath, but he lost his family.
Yeah, that would make you a psychopath. I
Yeah.
guess.
But yeah, like the moment when he was killing everyone in that girl's family, you would have so much more emotion than he did.
I don't know. Never done it.
Fair point.
What were we going to say,
But you
Pat?
can rent it on Amazon Prime for £16 if you like.
Why?
Yeah, why bother?
Yeah.
I mean, I enjoyed watching it in the cinema. I thought it was really good.
It looked very nice.
Apparently, I need to go. Like, not to go back, but we were talking about June last time we did this.
I have so many more notes. I've been thinking about it constantly.
Well, I've been told that I should watch it on IMAX because when we went to the cinema to watch it before, it was just like kind of normal cinema. But apparently, it is so much better if you watch it on IMAX. Although I still have, I can't remember whether I mentioned it the last time we did the podcast, but I still have a problem with the audio.
Yeah, that's not going to get any better if you go to the IMAX,
exactly, yeah. But it was just so many scenes in that where you could not hear the actors because of the music.
Hmm.
And it was the same.
But there's an
with
IMAX
Interstellar.
in Ipswich, isn't there?
Yeah,
Is
I
it
think
Ipswich?
there is. Yeah, there is an IMAX.
I've never been to an IMAX.
Have you not? Oh,
You've never been to
you've
an
led
IMAX?
such a sheltered life.
I think I've been to one IMAX.
Well, because from when I was looking into this, the Ipswich one's a Limax. It's not a true IMAX. The screen isn't the right size.
Oh,
Don't you
right.
remember we had this conversation?
Yeah, we did, didn't we? Yeah.
Someone that claims to be an IMAX that this isn't an IMAX. It's
Really?
An IMAX.
Yeah, you get ones that are essentially just a little bit bigger than a normal screen.
I don't think I've ever heard of a Limax before.
The only one I've ever been to that was a proper IMAX, well, actually two. I've been one in the US and I've been one in Bristol. And there's a proper IMAX in Bristol.
Oh, actually, we should probably mention something. The in the James Bond, back to the James Bond movie for a split second.
It's unlike us to keep on going back and forth between different movies.
But the florist, did a really good job.
Oh yeah, we should pick up. Like, it turns out that Rhiannon's friend. Oh yeah, her friend did the flower arranging for the all the plants for the James Bond movie. So she was on set when like James Bond was there and Rami Malek and
Fantastic.
Yeah,
That's pretty cool. Also, just to point out, you've never been to an IMAX.
I have.
You haven't.
I have.
You have not.
I went to one in Florida.
Oh, Florida.
Yeah.
Not the one in Bristol.
Is that a Limax?
Yeah.
Oh.
No,
Yep. I've just looked it up.
The one in the View.
London, London, Manchester, Ruston, Sheffield, Watford, York.
Oh. I was lied to.
And there's 3 in Florida: Fort Lauderdale, Kennedy Space Center, Kennedy Space Center.
the Odeon
That's the one I went to. Was the one at Kennedy Space Center.
The Odeon in Cardiff and Cineworld and View are all IMAX compatible and support IMAX.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean that they are actually IMAX.
I remember seeing that View.
The one I went to in Florida, it was like being in a really tall building.
I'm on the IMAX website and it says Cardiff.
And the seats were like right down an angle. I mean, you're like on the side of a cliff, and the screen is just huge, ridiculous.
That's the point about an IMAX, I believe. It's a massive, massive screen.
Yeah.
Like as in 20 to 25 meters plus.
Yeah, because Disney Plus has IMAX support.
Yeah, I don't see how that works.
No.
Because you're not changing the size of your screen. So how is it still an IMAX?
I think it's just the aspect ratio that's changing.
It doesn't look any different to me.
It's...
Talking of which,
Oh,
we
no.
watched a movie called Shang-Chi and the Ten Rings.
Xing-Shang.
Shang. I've had 2 glasses of wine, so
Oh.
I'm going to screw up his name a few times. And that was in the IMAX, and I had no idea whatsoever that it was.
But I watched...
What, when we watched it on Disney Plus?
Yeah, when I watched it on Disney Plus.
Watched Thor Ragnarok, and it was very obvious when it was in IMAX because it would change complete aspect ratio, and it was only for the fight scene that it was in IMAX. And then at the beginning, like when he's in the cage and he fights big lava guy,
Yeah.
and that's all in IMAX. But then it goes back to not being IMAX as soon as he gets...
See, that would just take you out of the movie.
Oh, it really annoyed me.
I wouldn't like that.
No. Are we going to watch that new Ghostbusters movie when it comes out?
No.
Yeah.
We're not?
Yeah.
Oh, do we have to?
Yeah.
It doesn't look that... Oh, it has had bad reviews, but it doesn't look that bad.
Well, it's got Paul Rudd in it.
Yeah, but so is the Eternals. But the Eternals' bad reviews are all by the critics. The fans love it. So
Yeah. I never judge a movie by who's ever in it, because it doesn't matter who's in it. It can still have terrible editing, terrible directing, and terrible script.
There must be some actors that always make good movies.
I don't think that's physically possible.
Tom Hanks.
I can't think of a single film that I've seen Tom Hanks in that I didn't think was great.
Yeah.
Even the ones that the critics don't like The Burbs, is an amazing
Talking
film.
of which, have you seen his new one?
That's what I was just about to say.
Not yet.
Finch.
Yeah.
Probably shouldn't mention it then. I have a list of all the best parts of it, in my opinion, and what I really liked about it. And that's how you do a desert, may I point out.
You haven't seen it, have you, though?
I have not.
Oh, you should watch it. It's really good. It's like, have you seen Chappie?
Yes.
Like that. But
Nice.
kind of set in a dystopian
But I don't
future.
have... I can get Apple TV free for 3 months on the television.
You should do it. There's actually some good stuff on there.
Yeah, because you've got Foundation, Invasion, and Finch.
Mm.
But shouldn't I wait for the Spielberg, Tom Hanks, American Army Air Force Bomber Squadron?
I have
Show
no
that-
clue what you're talking about.
Because that's coming to Disney, Apple TV, isn't it?
Is it?
I don't know. I'm checking right now.
But the thing is, Spielberg, what has he made that was any good recently? Because I can't.
No, I can't think of anything.
I don't think he's made anything any good. I mean, since what was it? AI was shit, and then everything else he's done since has been shit.
Catch Me If You Can was good.
Oh, that was him. That was
Believe
Tom
so.
Hanks. Yeah. That was a good film, actually. I eat my words already.
Oh, I really want to talk about Finch now, but you haven't seen it. Tell you what, we could go back to June again for a second.
Oh, go on then.
Because I want to talk about the shields. We never even mentioned the shields.
Yeah. What about them?
What did you think of them?
Well, they were better than the original.
Yeah. I liked how more emotive, I'd say, the shields were compared to the original.
The shields I like the new shields. I didn't like how they explained them. I think I said that at the time.
Yeah.
Having to run your knife across the wrist to show the shield. Just turn the shield on.
Yeah. But there was always a thing about the Dune movies was the whole, like, the slow blade pierces the shield.
I don't remember if we mentioned this last episode, but I was talking to someone about it in college, and they explained to me why the shield there were no guns.
Yeah, because of the shield.
Because of the
shields. They wouldn't work on the shield. But they did have guns. They had, like, these weapons that would... Like, remember when they were dropping the bombs?
Yeah.
And they had the bombs...
They would slow down.
They would slow down to go through the shield.
Yeah.
And then they had...
Really cool shot.
Yeah, that was really cool. Didn't they have, like, some weapons? Or am I confusing the original with the remake?
The king guy, he got shot by, like, a thing that slowly moved through and he was trying to grab it out.
Yeah, like a tranquilizer dart of some sort.
Yeah, so there was a type of weapon, but I imagine... just imagine a whole film where they're shooting those and there's just tons of bullets waiting to go in your face. It would be petrifying for you, but it would look quite bad for viewers, I think. It'd be quite boring, like, I'm just watching this guy very slowly die.
It'd be interesting though, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Like an interesting take on having the shields. I mean, I suppose that's the whole point of the fact that they've got blades instead of weapons of, projectile weapons.
I was thinking about the first movie and the remake, and I can't take either of them seriously. There's a point in the movies where they seem a little bit too silly, and it is the Baron. The Baron's side is always too silly for me. With the new one, I didn't like the floating. I mentioned that last time. It just looks like they're balloons, and the gravity doesn't feel right when watching a man slowly float up across a table. It doesn't look right to me. Yeah. I'm so used to watching, like, thrusters where they're kind of a continuing force instead of just being slowly bobbing towards them.
The floating fat man.
Yeah, the floating fat man is just wrong. It reminds me of Willy Wonka in the Chocolate Factory, where the kid is floating towards the ceiling.
Oh, yeah.
I can't see that movie. I can't see June and think, oh, that's very serious. There's a scary guy floating towards me. I'm just seeing a fat kid on the ceiling in a Willy Wonka factory.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's too late to kind of change that now, isn't it? Because they've already made the movie, and in the sequel they can't go, do you know what? One person on the internet said they didn't like the floatiness, so we thought we'd change the entire...
Yeah, I don't think they're going to do that.
No.
It would be funny if, like, he's like a balloon.
You could pop him, and he just went...
pop him.
Yeah.
That would be quite funny, actually.
Yeah, I'm sure they'll do that in Rick and Morty or something like that.
Yeah.
All right, should we talk about...
That's what I was just thinking. Should we go to actual...
Shang-Chi.
I wish they picked an easier name. I know it's the name of the character, but God, is it a pain in the ass to try and spell and remember. And then the legend... You can't... Because there's going to be a sequel. You know there's going to be a sequel. I can't just call it Shang-Chi. I have to have the full title. No.
So what did you two think of it?
I thought it was very, very good.
Really? Because I did not.
I really enjoyed it.
I think my view on Marvel has just rapidly gone down. Because I used to, like, praise Marvel. And then after Endgame, I've kind of had my bubble burst. I can't quite see them in the same way now.
Why? What? Because Endgame was so spectacular.
Yeah, I think
so much happened in it. So many of the characters.
I mean, I'm excited.
Where do they go from there?
I'm excited for Spider-Man because a completely new take. I think the only thing since Endgame that I actually liked was Loki. I really enjoyed Loki. But WandaVision was a letdown to me, and I really didn't like Falcon and the Winter Soldier. I didn't like that one. Although I remember specifically the scene where he kills someone with the shield, that actually made me like have goosebumps because I know that's not what Captain America would do.
Yeah, but he's not. He's John Walker.
Yeah, I know. It felt like a disrespect to the Shield. It was weird that, but I wasn't impressed with Shang-Chi.
Yeah, I wasn't either. I got to admit, I was on board with Shang-Chi until you got to the point where they went through that maze and got to like this other realm, this pocket universe, where you had all these. You had I suppose it was a little bit before that. Actually, it was like when the beast with the 6 legs turned up with no head. and some wings, and I was just like, what am I watching? This is like watching Harry Potter or something. I'm like, if it had just been, here's the son that has been mistreated by his father, and he's going to get these alien rings that give him power, and he's going to get them at some point
instead of a fluffy IKEA footrest.
Yeah, exactly. Instead of a tribble with wings. And then you had the green horse thing and the dogs with like 9 tails or whatever.
I was thinking about it though. Would the bamboo be deadly?
What bamboo?
So they go through the bamboo forest that like constantly changes.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that actually be deadly? Because bamboo,
I suppose it could squash you.
Yeah, but bamboo's quite weak.
Not really. I mean, they use it as scaffolding.
That's literally in the film.
But comparing it to the car, it's not going to do very much.
No, it is a very strong material, especially for its weight. Yeah, and like Pat says, I mean, they literally showed bamboo being used, and it is used today to build skyscrapers because it's such a good material for that.
It is, but it does have its weak points, and metal being one of them.
But I think we've already... Oh, sorry. Carry on.
It's a mystical forest.
Yeah, I was just going to say, like, that you've got to suspend a certain amount of disbelief because it's all this magic stuff, and that was the bit I didn't like, was the whole magic stuff.
We're going to get a lot more magic now.
Yeah, because they've got a whole magic thing going on, haven't they?
I like Doctor Strange, though.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. How can you diss the magic when...
Yeah, I suppose Doctor Strange is enough magic for me. That's kind of
I think, like, Doctor Strange uses, what I'm going to say, a lot of realism, but it's... I've got to kind of take that back a bit. What I mean by realism is like Marvel realism. Like the Marvel world, how we know it's to be. There's aliens and robots. We don't know there to be a lot of magic.
What was it that Falcon said about like the big 3?
Yeah, the robots, aliens, and wizards.
Yeah. No, witches.
Witches. Yeah, I just... Yeah, when it came to Doctor Strange... I think, because we know him first as a doctor. We don't know him as a magical guy. We know him as a doctor. So we keep going back to recurring, he's a doctor, this is what it's like in a normal world. But then when we got to this magical place, we kind of stayed there. Like, we got to the dojo area, and then that was it. We never saw, where are they? New York or something, I don't know America very well.
No, he does go back there later on.
He does, movie. Yeah, but like there's more in the mystical side of things and the... Oh, this isn't a place we usually know. In the other Marvel movies, they're setting places we know or we see.
Yeah, I got what you mean. Like the whole battle and everything that happened in Shang-Chi.
It was all in a different...
Yeah, it was in this other universe or
other place. I guess that doesn't make sense because there's Guardians of the Galaxy. That's set in... Yeah.
Thor is literally set in a mythical place called Asgard.
Yeah. I really liked that movie.
What?
The Thor Ragnarok. And I'm trying to... Yeah, I've just contradicted everything I've just said. Never mind then.
Yeah, but then the whole movie is set in that...
I guess.
You're both saying the same thing, really. That the movie is set in that reality, whatever that reality may be. Whereas Shang-Chi starts in normal world... Normal-ish
yeah.
for Marvel, and then goes into this whole other magical world with mythical beasts and dragons. And
it was a very much of a sudden turn, I think.
That was it. That was
like
only thing.
I
tell you something I really did like about the film. Now,
what
is all the white people were idiots. Like every white bloke that was in it was a complete moron.
Choking on cider.
Shouldn't drink at your age.
I just like the fact that a normie, if you like, was.
Are we not normies?
Yeah, we're normies, as in non mystical, magical, superpower person was the defining influence in the film. Because without the co-star, they would have lost. If she hadn't have shot the
unbelievable
mythical
shot that
beast.
she did.
Sorry, I'm just laughing at my dad trying to figure out how a boom arm works for a split second.
Thank you.
No problem.
No, I thought it was really, really good that they had someone with no abilities save the day. I thought that was excellent.
I did like her character. I think she was fantastic.
The comedic one.
Yeah.
I can't remember the name of the characters. Any of them. Apart
I
from
can only
Shang-Chi.
remember. I can only remember Sean,
The sheep.
who hid it.
Was it?
Oh,
Who
the
hid
actor
his
guy.
name? No, that was his character's name was Sean.
Yeah, because he changed it to Sean to disguise himself as Shang-Chi.
From Shang,
Yeah.
Sean.
Yeah.
Can we just call him Sean then from now on?
Yeah, yeah.
Rather than having to.
Say Shang-Chi.
Yeah.
Sean.
Sean the movie.
Yeah. Sean and the Legend of the Ten Rings.
Sean's ring.
I just really enjoyed it. I didn't think it was too kiddified like it could have been.
I'm gonna argue something that you said for James Bond, but on this movie, I felt the movie was too long, in my opinion.
How long was it?
It was 2 hours. I felt like it was far much more longer than it needed to be, but that was because we were adjusting to two different realities at the same time. We both got the normal world and the magical world of ooh.
I tell you what I did like about it as well, though, was that scene where they went to that fighting area and they were, like we had all those different characters that had been in previous ones. There was like one of the Black Widows that was in it. There was the glowy guys from Iron Man 3. There was Abomination.
Sean's sister owned the place. That one.
Yeah. That kind of
the Abomination.
arena.
Yeah. What was Wong doing there?
Fighting a Abomination.
Yeah, but like they seem to be friends of some sort, or at least acquaintances, used to being around each other. But they were fighting. Yeah. I was very confused about that.
It was just
I think that was literally it.
Okay.
They were just working together. It was a hustle. He says to him about like, we got to talk about you pulling your punches.
Yeah. So he must be training. So is Abomination a good guy or a bad guy?
He's a bad guy. So Abomination's always been a bad guy, hasn't he?
Yeah, it's just interesting. I will say, even though I didn't like the movie, it was a fun movie to watch because the choreography was fun to watch. Specifically, back to the sisters area when they were fighting.
Sisters area.
That sounds wrong, doesn't it? Ignore that. But the building when they had the scaffolding made out of bamboo, funny enough.
Oh yeah, it's good material.
Yeah, good. That was a fun scene to watch.
What, when they were fighting on the side of the building?
Yeah, I quite enjoyed watching that.
It was reminding me of Jackie Chan movies.
I haven't watched that many Jackie Chan. I think I've watched 3 Jackie Chan movies. I know.
Oh, Pat, I'm letting him down.
It's your family, mate.
I know, but Drunken Master. Got to watch that.
I think I watched like one where he was a spy and he was looking after his girlfriend's kids.
Yeah.
That was a weird movie.
What was the other ones? Police movies. What were the police ones, Pat?
Police Squad.
That's because he's done a load of them, right?
Yes.
I did want to point out one thing about the Sean movie. It was very Godzilla-y at the end. Like it changed.
Which one? Good Godzilla or bad Godzilla?
I would say,
or should I say, original Godzilla or American Godzilla?
Okay, more like Godzilla versus King Kong then. The newest one.
I haven't seen that.
Where like you've got the small characters that talk about how great one of them is and how one's going to save them, and then it's mostly just them.
You mean like Transformers?
Yeah, I guess so. But it changed to that kind of movie. It changed from Sean being, this is the really important bit, to, look, there's a big dragon now. It doesn't matter. We've got a big dragon that completely defeat them.
Yeah, we've got a dragon, they've got a dragon, let's see what happens.
Yeah. Well, they didn't have a dragon. What was it? A soul sucker, which is a really lame name.
Yeah.
You would have thought of something as ancient as that. They'd have it this mystical name, but it's just called Soul Sucker. They couldn't think of a better name than that in the years they've had of that thing locked up.
1,000 years.
Yeah, 1,000 years, and they've still been calling it Soul Sucker. Everything else in the Marvel Universe has a very mystical name. Even the Galactus people and all the aliens, they have a more interesting name than Soul Sucker. Soul Sucker sounds like something...
Well, you mean like the Kree?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Kree, that's more interesting than Soul Sucker. Kree?
I'd say it is.
Yeah, because Kree sounds...
Alien-y.
Yeah.
Soul Sucker sounds like it's named by an American who just went, oh, that sucks souls. All right, then, Soul Sucker.
Sounds like a metal band.
It does, yeah. Yeah. And then, like, what happened to the father? The father just went, oh, I give up. I've made this mess now. What do I do? Oh, I'll tell you what. I'll take the things that are giving me eternal life and give them to my son. And he'll fix all my problems that I've done. Like,
I've created.
Yeah. Like, you did this.
Well, that's what we have kids for. So that, like, those kids can...
Deal with your mess.
Yeah, deal with the mess that we leave behind.
Oh, that's kind of...
That's why we have children.
Only reason.
Yeah. I just felt like that was...
That and to get us things and to look after us.
That hasn't worked out for me yet. Has
No?
it worked out for you?
Not really, yeah. I mean, I have to ask about 20 times before either of them will do it. I mean, one of them is because he sleeps all the time. And
it's
then
me.
The other one, he just doesn't listen to me.
Well, this is a movie podcast, not a life podcast.
Well, it can be whatever we want it to be.
Except it's named That Was a Movie.
Yeah, but like we're talking about a movie and about like the relationship between father and son. And I think what happened was that
You're very emotive right now.
Yeah, I am.
Pointing at me.
I think that the father finally realised that his son was a worthy successor for him. So he just kind of gave up. That he tried to be good, didn't really handle it very well.
No.
And then he's decided that his son, he sees his son able to take the rings from him and be a better person with it.
I mean, it was, to be fair, it was very typical. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. Oh no, what have I done? That's typical Hollywood or typical movie fare. That's literally that kind of genre of film. That is that film. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. Oh, I've made a mistake.
Yeah. It's like the same old crux that they put in loads of movies, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's the same as like sorry, carry on. I
was just going to say the dad didn't show your normal, typical intensity in doing that, if you know what I mean. It wasn't, all right, this is it. This is the be-all and end-all. It's, oh, voices. Yeah, we're going to do this. Come with me, please. It wasn't, right, this is it. Even though this was it, his whole life objective was this. It wasn't driving. It didn't feel like he was, you know what I mean? It wasn't feel like he was driving him.
Nah.
Well, I think at the end of the day, he was grief-stricken.
Yeah.
He'd lost the one true love of his life, and that soul sucker was taking advantage of that.
Should have run.
You often see that in a lot of films, where the character is redeemed in one way or another, and rather than like taking that redemption and running with it, they just kind of give up, die.
Yeah.
And it's just like...
I was more referring to the mum, though. The mum just kind of went, all right, kids, you go. I'll fight them. Running.
Yeah, but did you see how many people she killed?
Yeah.
Yeah, quite a few. But, I mean, you would have thought he'd still have guards there.
Yeah.
You know, people and stuff.
No, because he'd given up that life. He weren't about that life no more.
Yeah, but you don't have to be evil to have guards.
Do you have guards?
No, but I'm also haven't lived for thousands of years, and I also don't have a lot of money.
But are you evil?
No, I don't think so. Based on my opinion.
Well, I'm sure Sean's dad didn't think he was evil. What is Sean's dad's name?
I have.
That's why he left. Isn't that why he left? Because he thought he was evil.
I was about to search Sean into IMDb instead of Shang-Chi.
Yeah, find out what his dad's name is.
Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. His dad's name was... do you know what? Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It's too hard to say. Exude.
I just, like I
when
say, I
ruled.
just really enjoyed it.
But what?
I thought the casting was exceptional.
I like the fact that they brought back the actor. The actor, I knew he was going to come back, but I found it very funny when he came back and he was acting Shakespeare in a dungeon underground.
Yeah, with his Liverpudlian accent. Yeah, the Mandarin. That whole explanation as to why the Mandarin was created was superb.
Yeah.
I created a terrorist. He took my name, and you guys were scared of an orange. An orange. And you're like, yeah.
That is one scary orange.
But I guess because it was
more scary?
It was wholesome. The film was wholesome. So that's probably why it gets criticisms, because it wasn't.
I suppose I might be being a bit harsh on Marvel,
but it
when
is
I
because
don't like it because they do make different kinds of movies, don't they?
Yeah.
I mean, like you got Ant-Man and the Wasp.
How many of their movies have been failures? Like 2?
None.
Well, no,
Wow.
Failures.
There's 4. The 4 movies didn't succeed that well.
I like the first 4 movie. Didn't like Dark World.
I didn't like either of them, in my opinion.
And
it was only Ragnarok I liked.
Age of Ultron.
Age of Ultron. I really wish they bring Ultron back, because I don't think that was a good enough story for him.
Oh, the actor who played Ultron.
Yeah,
it's fantastic.
Yeah, I know, and they could easily bring him back because they didn't show him getting killed off. They just
they kind of did.
No, they showed Vision shooting at nothing from our view. So Vision could have missed on purpose, or maybe just knocked him out, maybe, or shut him down. He could still be a running machine somewhere. The thing with machines that they can still pass around.
Could have been backed up on the cloud.
Yeah, Amazon,
no sponsorship.
AWS, Ultron,
Dropbox,
yeah. Origin, Ultron.
There's always Google Cloud.
Yeah.
Why doesn't anybody think of Google Cloud?
But yeah, I think they could bring back Ultron in a much more interesting way, especially after watching that What If. He did so much better in that than he did in the movie.
Yeah. Have we talked about Black Widow?
No, we haven't.
I didn't like that movie either.
Oh, I love that movie.
I know. I am the only one who didn't like that movie, I think.
Why are you doing a movie podcast? You don't like any movies.
I do love movies. We went in depth on June, and I watched a lot of movies.
I just loved Natasha's sister.
Yeah, Natasha's sister.
The whole thing about like her taking the piss out of her, the way that she jumps and does the flick of the hair.
Yeah.
And when she does it herself and just feels wrong.
It was. I would say it's an enjoyable movie.
Yeah, but then how is that different to Sean's movie?
Sean's movie felt lame.
But you said you didn't like Sean's movie, or did you like Sean's movie, Simon?
I didn't.
Yeah.
But I didn't like all of it. There was moments in it that I did like. I liked the movie up until the point where they went into the weird wizardy world, where it was all mythical beasts and that they kind of lost me then. But apart from that, everything up until that...
But that was the gate, though. That was the gate to keep the Soul Seeker in, so...
Yeah, I understand the vehicle for having it. I just think that... So up until that point, for me, it was like watching a Jackie Chan movie. And then... Then you went into all this weird and wonderful spiritual stuff, and it just... I don't know, it just felt like just all this CG on the screen. Didn't feel like it was really... I don't know, grounded in anything, but I know that's a silly thing to say because it's not going to be grounded in anything because it's set in a mythical world.
Well, we have set standards for that world now because it's existed for so long.
Well, the other thing is I think that what Marvel are going to be doing in the future is they're going to have these different, in the same way that this is why I brought up earlier about what Falcon said about like the big three.
Yeah.
I think that Marvel in the future is going to have essentially like the big three. They're going to have movies with aliens in them. They're going to have movies with
imagine aliens in Marvel.
They're going to have movies with like witches and all spiritual stuff in them, and they're going to be like these 3 separate genres of types of Marvel movies.
Human Wizard.
Scarlet Witch versus Darth Vader.
I think Scarlet Witch would win. She can literally rewrite reality.
Yeah, true. She probably would win.
Yeah. She's the equivalent of an Infinity Stone because she was made out of an Infinity. I cannot say.
Infinity Stone.
Yeah, thank you. So I think, like, you just brought her over there versus Darth Vader. She'd just crush him or turn him into a lamppost.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, all he can do is go, "Oh, I'm choking you now. I'm throwing you up in the air now." He can move her.
As long as...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, mutants would definitely be space wizards.
I wouldn't say all mutants. Like, I don't think Wolverine would be useful against him because Darth Vader could just make him stab himself with the...
Yeah, but it wouldn't matter.
No, because he
He
reheals.
can't die.
Yeah. Okay, maybe old Wolverine couldn't make it then.
If you're talking about Logan, yes.
Yeah.
But if you're talking about Old Man Logan, the comic, still no.
Because in the comic, he didn't actually die, did he?
Did he not?
No, but in Wolverine the comic, he was encased in adamantium.
Still catching up on all my
give up.
comics.
He'd just give up because he'd had enough. He'd been alive forever. And then he was resurrected.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So in the comics, can't kill him.
Yeah.
Anyway, why are we talking? Oh yeah, I said crossover.
Well, because the next big thing is going to be, and I can't wait for this, is when they start bringing in the mutants.
I am really looking forward to seeing mutants in it.
I've seen the way that Marvel Cinematic
Who do you think will be the
Universe
first
brings
mutant?
in all of the mutants.
Who's going to be the first mutant?
Oh, see, it's easy to suggest Wolverine because he's a fan favorite.
Okay, who's going to be the first group of, like, is it going to be the X-Men or is it going to be the Fantastic Four? Because Fantastic Four, aren't they mutants?
Yeah.
Well,
Okay. Yeah.
Are they the scientific mutants?
Well, I'd like to see a decent Fantastic Four movie. If they brought that in.
That would be nice.
Yeah, it would be lovely.
For once.
I only watched one of the Fantastic Fours. I watched the second one because I didn't know it was the second one until after I'd finished it. I did not think it was good.
Had Captain America in it.
I know it had Captain America in it.
They butchered Silver Surfer.
Yeah.
Yeah, they did.
Absolutely butchered it.
He was one of my favourite characters when I was a kid.
Silver Surfer.
They had the opportunity there for Galactus, sorry, and Silver Surfer, and they absolutely balked it.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And then they did a remake.
I didn't mind the remake that much,
No,
but it wasn't the movie I was hoping for.
I didn't know they did a remake.
Yeah, they did. Yeah.
Michael B. Jordan was in it.
Which one was he?
Oh, I do remember that one.
Killmonger.
Oh,
The
right.
bloke who played Killmonger.
Was it with the kid from Ready Player One?
Yes.
I thought that movie was awful when I saw it. I watched it with Max.
was.
It was absolutely awful when I watched it.
So when I think Hawkeye started today on Disney Plus.
Is it?
Mm,
No, it's
no,
There's
not 'cause
something out
It's
today.
December time, isn't it?
No, but it's a 6-parter. They're not going to drop all 6 parts in a one, are they?
Or is it Thanksgiving?
Let's check Disney Plus. Oh, there is.
Yeah, Pat, do you want to go and see Eternals, the cinema?
Yeah.
Hawkeye comes out on the 24th November. So,
Oh, right. So it is this month.
yeah. Do we think that's going to be good, the Hawkeye series?
Huh?
Yes.
It's got Hawkeye in it.
Mr. Arrow Man. Who did I used to call him? I used to call him Hot Guy. Do you remember that?
Hot Guy?
I thought his name was Hot Guy instead of Hawkeye.
To be fair.
To be fair, yeah.
Yeah, he's a hot guy.
Do you know what? You took the mick out of me for that for about a year.
I don't remember that.
You
I've
don't
taken the
remember
mick out of you for a lot of
But
things.
we're going to now
Oh,
forever.
no.
No.
But now you've reminded me.
Yeah. Not as bad as mixing up baby with a fetus. No, did it wrong that time. I do really well at that, aren't I? Made you laugh too much.
There's a few things out soon.
Yeah, I've got things on my list to watch.
Matrix.
Yeah, we got to do a Matrix episode.
As long as I get to watch the movie, I don't care.
I know, but we should probably discuss. Yeah, we should do a Matrix episode. Have you watched any of the Arcane so far?
No, I need to finish Snowpiercer.
Really need to watch that.
It is really good, to be fair.
So, both me and my dad hadn't played any League or know what League was. Well, we knew what it was, but didn't know anything about the game or anything. I now play it a lot since the series was released. I was just intrigued because it looks good. In fact, actually, the lighting in that is what I think should be in June, because the lighting is perfect, I think. I saw someone like on YouTube and on Twitter say that every part of that movie, of the series, is an art piece. It looks amazing and reminds me personally of Dishonored video game. It looks amazing, and I absolutely love the look of it, and the story's good, and it has to be a good series to make me actually want to play the game, because I'm not a top-down person. I don't like playing top-down games, and I've been playing the game now for 7 days since watching the series, because I thought, may as well give it a go.
So what they need to do then is bring out a Command & Conquer TV series.
Oh, yeah.
I'd be all over that.
I'd watch that, as long as it was made well.
Just Googling Command & Conquer.
You don't know what Command & Conquer is?
I probably have heard of it, but there it is.
Well, what was the other one? StarCraft?
Oh, this game, they got it remastered.
Yeah.
Remastered recently. Yeah, I know that game. I thought of getting it a couple of times, but I decided not to.
Oh, I see.
The remastered is on EA Play.
Yeah.
Not advertising.
The
Other services are available. I'm a proper broadcaster now, aren't I? Did you like that?
I did. I did. That was very professional, Pat.
Yeah, cheers.
We'll get you to do the ads parts if we ever do that.
Oh, how's our revenue stream doing? Are we looking good?
No.
Are we projecting positives?
So most people listened to the podcast on YouTube, and that kind of ruined an ad revenue at all for because I haven't got enough subscribers on YouTube. But then I've heard recently that podcasts don't tend to last more than 7 episodes.
Right, so like 7
I'm not funding
7 episode itch, is it?
We've got after 7 episodes, I'll spend more time on this podcast. I'm already spending a lot of time on it, but I'll spend more time on it, and I might actually buy that Zoom recorder so we can actually record at a cinema.
Actually, I think that would be really nice. If we're, like, as soon as we come out of the movie, we just sit down and have a chat.
Yeah, I do like that.
It's fresh in your mind then.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's a very good idea.
I like the idea of segmenting that up as well. So the idea I was saying to my dad earlier is that we do the you know how we started it? We just started talking about random movies and TV series that we've been watching. We do that at home, but then we do the actual movie review stuff after watching the movie.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
So after hitting 7 episodes, we might start doing that, because I don't want us to suddenly start not enjoying this, and then me spent
How can we not enjoy this?
What, £200 on a microphone equipment that's portable, and then go, do you know what? No, stop. So
Are you not enjoying this experience then?
Oh no, it's much better than Press Red Podcast. To take the mick out of my own other podcast that I spent 2 years on now, this is much better than it. I would call this podcast something I would listen to. I would call the other podcast a mess. I've been trying desperately to get that podcast, but it's got a lot. Should I say the guests don't want to talk?
Well, that's kind of a bit of a stumbling block.
Yeah, I know.
Really.
That's because you're inviting teenagers.
Yeah, with this we actually talk a lot.
No.
So that's perfect.
But yes, I'm definitely up for Eternals, Ghostbusters.
My dad is dancing.
Matrix.
Yeah, Matrix.
He's drunk.
I'm not drunk. He's not that drunk.
I've had 2 glasses of wine.
Have you? Oh.
2 glasses of wine. He hasn't drunk for properly for
3
years.
Yeah.
3 years, yeah.
He's so drunk. But yeah, I'm definitely up for watching.
Like, what's coming out to cinemas soon then?
Oh, like we said, Eternals.
Matrix, Ghostbusters. Eternals is already out.
Yeah.
Are we so are we gonna do an episode on Ghostbusters and watch Ghostbusters, or because I want to give that movie a go, but do we want to go to cinema for that, or do we wait a couple months and then do a review?
I don't mind going to the cinema, but I mean, my review will pretty much be I didn't like it. Not to count my chickens beforehand, but like, I mean, I just can't help but think about that god awful remake that they did with, well, when they switched the gender of all the cast.
Yeah, that was a awful movie, and I only watched 10 minutes of it. Shall we end the podcast here then?
Okay.
Yeah.
If you want to, because I think
We've just hit an hour.
Yeah, there we go.
Right.
Yeah. Right, I guess, like, thanks for listening to the episode. Bye.
Thanks for having me.
No problem.
Yeah, thanks for having us, Mac.
I'm not the main host.
Appreciate
We're
that.
all kind of hosts here.
Yeah, but you're the big kahuna, aren't you?
All right.
This is your dream
Anyway,
until
let's finish
the ad
this.
revenue starts coming in. And obviously we're all on board. Until this becomes our full-time job.
You can keep dreaming. It takes a lot of effort to do that.
Oh, I've got nothing else to do.
We'll be big streamers. We'll have thousands of subscribers soon. Come on, this is quality content. How can you not?
Yeah. Right. Probably should finish it now then. Bye.
Don't forget to like and subscribe.
Please don't do that.